Hey, hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, marketing, and sales goals too with strategy and intention. So today, we're going to continue the start now agenda because I have a special guest. I'm going to bring her on real quick and then pop her off so I can talk a little bit more with you guys and then bring her on again. We're going to talk about preparation and also client attraction. I have one of my favorite clients and mentees, Miss Michelle Shannon, in the building. Say hey.
Hello.
Welcome. Awesome. So I have the phone calls on Wednesdays, and we had an amazing session. She shared some goodness as far as, in spite of everything that's been going on this year, she's got some positive news to share. So I said, you know what? We're definitely going to dig into what you guys can do to strategically work on preparation and client attraction. Okay. So hopefully the audio isn't wonky for too long. Sometimes for some reason when I have somebody come on for a second, the audio gets wonky. I don't know why. Let me see here. I'm going to just find myself real quick and pop back in to see if, but we'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to hide Michelle for 2 seconds because we've got some good to share with you guys today. As I mentioned before, this is day number 4 of Start Now Agenda, inspired by this year's Back to Business virtual conference. What I want to do today, and feel free guys to let me know if the audio has gotten better or if it's still kind of crazy. What I want to do today is to talk to you guys about a few power words: manifestation, preparation, and attraction. So feel free to drop that into the comment box. Manifestation, preparation, and attraction. Now, feel free, by the way, to tag your business besties and share this out. Sharing is caring. That's what it's all about. Number one. And number two, if you're catching us on the replay side, always remember you can drop into the comment box #replays rock. So let's dig into the conversation once again. I'm going to bring on Miss Michelle Shannon.
Okay. Hello, LaShonda.
So, of course, Michelle, before we get started, I would love it if
Mhm.
you introduce yourself, let people know who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Michelle Shannon. I'm an etiquette coach, and what I do is I teach children manners, and I offer manners classes to children because I think so many of our kids they really need this. They really need to know what's right. And you would be surprised if you knew the amount of kids that say, "Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that," or I believe that if you make them aware, if they're more aware of what they're supposed to do, then they'll start doing what they're supposed to do. They'll start doing what's right. So that's what I pretty much do. I teach kids proper manners. I teach them the rules that are in our society, the rules that they need to know, because I let them know our society has a set of rules that everyone is expected to follow. They don't really know what those rules are. So I help make them aware of what those rules are that they do need to follow.
You know, it's interesting that you talk about etiquette because there are times when, we go back in my day, right?
Mhm.
In back in
Yes,
my day,
yes,
this is how things were. And things have changed, the babies aren't quite
yes,
up on, they'll say, Mom, Dad, you're not up with the times. Well, they're not up with the etiquette, right? The things that, as far as behavior
yes, yes.
and skill sets that they need, those fundamentals that are just everlasting. So I love that you do this and that you're focused on etiquette, you're focused on working with kids. Because
Yeah.
what we're going to do today is talk about your skill set and
Mhm.
also the importance of, again, those 3 power words today: manifestation,
Mhm.
preparation, attraction. So let's start with you. When it comes to manifestation, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, what are some things that when you were looking to share your vision, work with kids, live in your purpose, what were you personally trying to manifest in your life and in your business?
Okay, so when I was trying to set up everything, I pretty much was trying to get my schedule together. I wanted to also learn as much as I possibly could. You know, I had attended so many webinars. As you know, I'm like on your lives and, you know, um, trying to get as much information as I could. So I wanted to get as much information as I could first so that I can make sure that once everything got going, once everything started, that I made sure that I was, pretty much doing the best that I could do at it. And yes, with being a mom and, having everything else to go in with it was a lot, but that's something that I did want. To just make sure that I knew like everything that I need to know. With business, in business, so many things are changing. I mean, there's, you know, lots of stuff, the way we pay for things, the information, ebooks are in, and you seem to keep up with the times. And so you're one of the persons that I would follow, just so that I could make sure that I was doing everything correctly. And then when I do launch what I was trying to launch, I made sure that I had all of my bases covered.
So that's important. So thinking about for yourself, what you wanted to do is it feels like you wanted to be comfortable. You wanted to know what you needed to
Exactly.
know, and you had all
Yes.
your bases covered just from the
Yes.
perspective of getting ready, right?
Yes.
Now,
Exactly. Yes.
I want you all to think about this for yourself and feel free to answer the question, what exactly were you getting ready for? When it comes to manifestation, I believe
Mhm.
manifestation goes hand in hand with intention. We have an
Mhm.
intention of something that we want to do, and we
Mhm.
have a vision, right?
Mhm.
Visualization
Yes.
of what we want it to look like. So when it comes
Mhm.
to intention and visualization, what did you visualize that you were preparing and wanted to know that you were ready for? What did you visualize you wanted to see in your business or you
Okay.
wanted to do with children?
What I visualized doing was pretty much, I really wanted to have like my own little school. So with my website, we worked on my website and I kind of have done that. I created a program called University of Manners. But I think my goal, is to reach as many kids as I possibly can with teaching them about proper manners because I would much rather for them to be prepared, when they come into a social situation and know exactly what they're supposed to do instead of being embarrassed. So I try to, and I'm going to say this, a lot of people, I feel like they really don't understand the importance of this and how important it is to let their kids know that, etiquette does exist, that there is a such thing. And, I try and, like I said, make them aware that this does exist. So my goal was to try and create something similar to a little school, similar to where they can go to school and they can learn all of this stuff.
And so you visualized having your own school, right? Having your own
Yes,
virtual school where you could
yes,
teach different students, different young people about etiquette. I want
yes.
you guys to think about that, whether or not you're watching the live or you're watching the replay. When it comes to taking your business to the next level, right? In order for you to manifest, you have to visualize, right? What
Mhm.
that looks like for you. I know that I was working full time, got pregnant, and said, you know what? I visualize myself being a work at home mom. I visualize myself being on the computer. I visualize one of the things that I would used to get nervous about
Mhm.
was asking my boss for time off. If I needed to get something done, like, oh, I get the bubble guts. Like, I don't want to ask. I don't want to
Mhm.
have that conversation. I don't want to hear her say no or, whatever. Just anxiety, right? I
Mhm.
visualized myself being in a place where I didn't have to ask anybody for time off, right? I could
Yes.
wake up when I wanted to. I could sit forever and do what I needed to do with my son. Now that he's doing remote learning, if he comes from his little mini office in his room and comes to my office, we can work together, right? So I
Yeah.
want you all to visualize, just like Michelle visualized having a school, understanding in order to manifest what you want to take yourself to the next level, right? You got to
Yeah.
visualize what that looks like, right?
Yes.
First
Yes.
thing. That's the
Yes.
first thing. You know,
Yeah.
when we had our clarity call, you said,
Mhm.
LaShonda, I was ready for this. So first, let's you tell them what you told me about all the goodness of what's been happening with your etiquette classes recently. And then we'll
Okay.
talk about number two, which is preparation.
Okay. So what happened to me was the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, the kids were pretty much stuck at home with nothing to do. And, lots of them, like I have kids. If you have kids, you know that they love to walk around and say that they're bored. So there were so many kids online looking for something to do. So my classes, I took them online. I was actually working with Lashonda to take them online prior to the pandemic. So when I took them online, they were a hit. I mean, I took off running. Everything just took off. And so far, I've taught since a little prior to the pandemic. I've taught over 1,000 kids, and it's over like maybe about 1,200. I think I've taught about 1,200 kids
Wow.
within that time. Yes.
That is amazing. That is what you want, right? You gotta
Yes.
manifest it.
Exactly.
You gotta visualize what you want. And you talking about
Yes.
little school? Come on now, over 1,200
Yes.
kids. That is
I,
that's the vision, right?
yes.
They say
Yes.
you speak that vision, you make it plain, you bringing it into fruition. That's a beautiful thing. So let's talk
Yes.
about the fact that you said, LaShonda, when this happened, I was
Mhm.
prepared for this because that's a
Yes.
big
Yes.
thing. Before we get
Yes.
started, I'm going to say one of my favorite artists, music artists, is Tanyanya
Mhm.
Taylor. Taylor. I never know how to
Uh-huh.
pronounce her first name. Tanyanya Taylor. I just love the girl. Let's
Okay.
go back a few years ago. She had her child, and
Mhm.
then she was a part of Kanye West. He came out with a song, and she was doing the dance for the song. Okay, I think it
Mhm.
was BET Awards. She came out and everybody was like, forget Kanye's song. Let's talk about the fact that this woman just had a baby. She snatched it back. She looked so
Yeah.
amazing. Her moves were amazing. Everybody was like, she needed to come out with a workout video, a dance choreography video. She wasn't ready for all the amazingness as far as the response that people
Yes.
had when they. Do y'all
Yes.
remember that? I don't know if y'all saw it on BET. It was just like, they're ready. I'm ready, right?
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
the thing about it is they always say, when if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
Exactly. Yes.
So
Yes.
if you visualize things taking
Mhm.
off above and beyond what you could possibly have ever imagined, you can prepare for that, right? So
Yes.
let's
Exactly.
talk about for you when you said I was prepared for this. Let's talk about what you did and how you felt prepared.
Okay, so I always buy notebooks. I always keep notebooks. And when I'm on a webinar, a live, whatever it is, I'm constantly taking notes. So I have tons of notebooks full of notes. Okay. So I've been on webinars, lives, whatever. I've been on it. I've been to meetings, just all kinds of stuff, signing up for different programs. And so I had, lots of information, but I had also taught my etiquette classes in my office, a local office, prior to wanting to teach them virtually. So I felt like teaching them virtually would have been better for me. So I'm just always preparing for everything. I mean, and you've had some really great people. You've introduced us or me into some really great people on like your back to business. Is it back to business basics?
That's what's coming up. Back to business this
Yeah.
week.
In some of your interviews too. You've had some really good people, some people that I've followed. I've even joined some of their groups, about some of their materials. And like I said, I'm constantly taking notes. So I was ready. And like I said, with you, you stay with the times. I learn a lot from you, even with just being on your lives. I learn a lot from you. I'm always taking notes. So I was ready. I was prepared, and I was ready. I was so ready for this.
So let's talk about a couple of things. Let's break it all the way down, right? Who my
Yes.
notebook girls? My notebook girls and guys in the building, right? I've got a ton of them
Yes.
myself, right? So
Yes.
always
Yes.
being intent and taking notes. Number
Yes.
two, one of the things that I loved about what you said is that I've done these etiquette classes in my office, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you got to start somewhere. And yesterday
Yes.
I said that a lot of people are in a place where maybe they need an intervention because they got a lot of
Mhm.
ideas, no
Mhm.
implementation, right?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
already started the process of implementing your vision
Yes.
in local groups. So when it came time to do virtual groups, you knew what it was going to look like. The content was ready.
Yes.
Yesterday, when I talked about being in a place where you need to monetize, I said a lot of people struggle with
Mhm.
monetization because they got information overload and the
Yes.
content's not ready,
Mhm.
right? So you had the
Yes.
content to teach, you were ready to take the classes. So notes, number
Yes.
one, being ready because you already started offline. How many of you got these great ideas, but you're not ready yet, right? That's a
Mhm.
problem. And then, of course, for me, number two, no, not number two, but number three, you said, I've been on a lot of these webinars. I've done a lot of
Yes.
virtual, right?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
were ready to use technology. You know, a
Yes.
lot of people in the pandemic were like, I don't know how to do this Zoom thing. I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know
Yes.
how to do this. You've got to be up on it, right? Just,
Yes.
I
Yes.
learned from you or back to business. You got to be
Mhm.
up with the technology. So think about that.
Yes.
If you're looking to manifest and you're looking to prepare for your next best business level, what are these things that you should be comfortable or a little bit more confident in, especially when it comes to technology, but you're not?
Mhm.
Right? And
Yes.
this is a
Yes.
reflective thing for you guys to ask yourself these questions. Funny enough, this week I also had a live with Lynette Crosby. She is launching her new children's book, and
Oh,
she
okay.
came on and I shared me being the designer of her children's
Mhm.
book. We shared what it looks like in a reveal. And
Mhm.
I remember, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 months ago, she had a new opportunity. And she said, okay, LaShonda, I needed to, for this particular opportunity, I needed to do a lot of virtual and I needed to do conference calls. And she said, you know what? I was able to do that opportunity because of what I did with you. I
Yes.
was prepared. And
Mhm.
the first time she came out, we had an event at a resort. Uh, didn't know how to use the social media, didn't know how to do live stream. Everybody who came out to the event, I gave them tripods, and she was like, "Oh my God, I
Mhm.
got a tripod!"
Mhm.
All of these little technical pieces, she said, doing them prepared me for this opportunity, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's so important to identify those parts where you know you should be getting better at and building your skill set, because if you do, then you're going to be ready for that next space, right?
Yes. Yes.
Number two, preparation. The
Yes.
last part of this is attraction, right? Being in a
Mhm.
place where we attract the things that we seek, especially when it comes to client attraction, right?
Mhm. Yes.
And so, what I said to you yesterday is, I said, okay, wow, how are you doing this? What happened? Where did you go? Right? Where are you teaching the
Yes.
classes? So, tell them a little bit about that, and then we'll continue.
Okay, so I started using my website that you built for me. Like I said, I have my little school there, University of Manners, and the parents can go there and they can sign their kids up for my classes there. But I was just getting a sign up here, a sign up there, the same thing that I usually get. Okay. When I branched out and I went to a school called Outschool, I went to Outschool and I signed up there and I was hired to teach there, and things just took off for me there. It just took off. All of my classes were full. They were completely full. Every class was completely full. I was doing classes all day long, from like 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes till 8 o'clock at night. Even on the weekends, I was working like 7 days a week. Now that the kids are in school, it's not as the classes are not completely full like they were over the summer. But I mean, I just had a huge rush. My reviews are, I mean, we talked before and you were like, what kind of reviews do you have? And I was like, I don't have a lot of reviews. Well, I have tons of reviews now. And I have lots of five, majority of them, just about all of them are 5-star reviews. So I kind of hit the ground running due to the pandemic. But like you said, I was ready. I also had experience with working in the classroom with children as well. So, and then the fact that I have my daughter, and helping out with all of her classes and everything else, that helped prepare me for working with the kids and being able to relate to the kids as well. So I kind of hit the ground running when the pandemic hit.
Wow. Now, there are a couple of things that I absolutely love about this. Number one, for those of you
Mm-hmm.
who are mompreneurs, dadpreneurs, you want to take advantage of taking a look at for your kids, or also opportunities on the platform that Michelle mentioned. We're going to talk about that today. But before we get there, one of the things I said to Michelle was, when it comes to visibility, right? Yes, you want to have a home base, you want to have a website. So Michelle came to me, we built her website, looks beautiful,
Yes.
mshannon.org. I don't know, Michelle, if you can type that into the chat box so I can pop that
Sure.
on the screen
Yes,
so
I
that you
can.
can.
Okay.
One of the things that I talk about is having the home base, number one. But number two, how are you going to get visibility in other ways, right? And there's a system that I say it's the 3NM system, right? 3NM means for me that it means that you're doing a couple of things. Number one, you're thinking about new market, because sometimes you have to change your target market to adjust. Number
Yes.
two, you're thinking about new marketing. Sometimes you got to find new ways to reach people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
number three, new marketplaces, right? So this particular platform is a new marketplace. Like you got Amazon, you got eBay, you got Etsy, another platform in which your target audience is frequenting. And that's going to help you with your visibility. If you want to attract more people, you got to think about, remember that famous quote, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right?
Mhm.
You got to think about,
Yes.
how am I going to do things differently? And
Yeah.
so I love the fact that in an effort to increase her visibility, Michelle has always proactively looked for opportunities to try different things. So when she said to me, LaShonda, I got, accepted into this program, hit the ground running. It's been a great experience. I was like, wow, this
Yes.
is what I want to see. I want to see implementation. I want to see practice. I want to see success. And she did exactly what she needed to do, right? And that's really why I said to her, I need you to come on, because I wanted her to share that success with you of really stepping out, trying different things, and being open, right, to the possibilities of what else is out there. So let them know, by the way, the program, or rather the organization online, that you are affiliated with, and how they could potentially learn more about it and sign up through you.
Okay. LaShonda, I want to tell you first, what really helped me was I am not really, okay, my target market, who I thought my target market was. I found out through this school, through teaching through this school, that's actually not my target market. And what also helped me was the fact that I teach kids from all over the world. The school gives a reach where we can work with kids all over the world. I have kids in Australia that take my class over and over. I've had kids in New Zealand, Africa. I've had kids from everywhere take my classes from all over the world in all different states and countries. So that has helped out a lot. Okay, so the name of the school is Outschool, and you can go to my link, and it is mshannon.org/OS if you would like to sign up to be a teacher, or if you'd like to take a look at the school for classes for your kids. You can go to my referral link for that, and it's mshannon.org/PR, and that's for parent referral. You will receive a $20 credit if you sign up through my link. If you're new to the school, you can receive a $20 credit for signing up and actually putting your kids in the class.
You
So
said
yeah,
PR? PR?
PR, yes,
Okay.
parent referral, PR.
So OS, if they
Oh,
want to sign up to be a teacher,
yes,
and then PR, if they want to sign up as a parent.
yes, yes.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I'm popping those links onto the screen, y'all, so that you can see both of them. Because I mean, I said to her, I said, I don't know if you know this, Michelle, but I did a training called Side Hustle Success on different side hustles. E-learning, online learning was one of them, and I shared a wealth of different resources. So I was like, OutSchool, I never heard of that one, but I
Yeah,
love learning about new platforms. By the way,
yes.
the Side Hustle Success webinar workshop, 3 hours
Mhm.
of great recommendations for those of you who are looking for ways to make extra money and or expand your exposure on different platforms. You get that inside the Start and Grow bundle. So I said to you all week, we're talking about starting now and different ways that you can do that because the Back to Business virtual conference that's coming up this weekend is about starting now. And one of the levels of registration is the full registration. You get the Start and Grow bundle, lots of trainings in there. Get your side hustle success on is definitely one of them. And e-learning is one of many things that you can do. But this new to me anyway, this new platform, again, great for parents and great for mom and dad entrepreneurs like Michelle looking for places to teach and gain additional exposure. So I definitely wanted to make sure that we could have Michelle on and share that link. Number one. Number two, I love that you said, in doing this, I realized, wait a minute, my target market that I thought was my target market, not so much, right? And
Yes, yes.
we've had different clarity calls, we've had different VIP
Mhm. Oh
days.
yeah,
That's something
yes,
that we've had a lot of conversation around because sometimes you put your marketing message out there and it may
yes.
not be hitting because you're not hitting the right person, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Talk about that. What kind of revelations did you gain about your target market?
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Majority of my students, and I think I don't know if it's that I target more African Americans for my business, or is it just because it's more African Americans that follow me? But
Mm,
like, so many different nationalities following me, so many different cultures. It's not, I really don't have very many African Americans. And I don't know if it's because that's in my local business. Like I said, I have had a local office and I have my classes. I dealt with more African American parents, so I don't know if it was because of that, if I was still trying to follow the same, target market as my clients that I previously had. But they're like, I do still have some as clients, but it's not as many. When I first started out, I had hundreds of kids. And I could say that I could count on one hand, like how many I actually had signing up, and like the parents, when you have a business for kids, you have to, kind of consider, you have to market to the parents and you have to consider what your parents look like. Who are you trying to reach? And I was totally off on that. I just found that out because, like you said, we've had clarity calls where you were asking me, like, who are you trying to reach? Who are you? And you know, some people say they're trying to reach everyone. I was there when I first started out. I was trying to reach everyone. I wanted to send my message out that I had this business. I wanted to send it out to anyone, to everyone. But it didn't work like that. So I knew that I had to narrow it down. So I narrowed it down, but it still wasn't who I was trying to reach. So in doing this, I did find my target market.
What's great about that is number one, sometimes the intention that we have is going to, I
Mhm.
wouldn't say sometimes, most of the times, it's going to evolve, right?
Yes.
Growing up, when you talk about that, when I think about manifestation and visualization, when I was young and knew I loved to teach, I wanted to teach the babies. I wanted to be a
Yeah.
teacher.
Yes.
And funny enough, I am a teacher, but I
Mhm.
teach older babies. I teach adults, right?
Yes.
I love
Yes.
kids at heart, at the end of the day. but I'm still teaching, but the target market that I teach isn't the one that I initially intended, right? I teach
Yes,
adults and
yes.
not kids. One
Mhm.
of the things that I want you guys to think about when it comes to starting now is the fact that sometimes we could be so much in research mode and let me talk it out, let me research it out, that we don't understand that some of this clarity is only going to come when you practice,
Mhm.
when you go through the process, right?
Yeah.
We did get a lot of work done, and you did gain a lot of clarity and direction when we had our sessions. But at the same time,
Mhm.
there are things that you can only get through actual practice, right?
That's true.
Through
Yes.
the fact that you're doing this, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then also learning that sometimes we maybe limit our market, right? Because we're
Mhm.
limiting
Mhm.
people who we know we used to work with that type of person, or we're
Yes.
limiting ourselves based on gender or what people look like. And
Mhm.
you're like, wow, I've opened up my
Yes.
market, right?
Mhm.
I know for a fact people come to me and say, girl, I love that you work with the sister girls, but come on, what about the men? We need you too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right. And I have a lot of clients who I've got quite a few clients who are international, and they're like, listen, LaShonda, next when you decide you're gonna have something in the UK, when you go decide you're gonna have something in the Caribbean, just let me know because I'm gonna be there, right?
Yes. Yes.
3 and M. Write this down,
Mhm.
y'all. Sometimes you gotta focus on a new market, a new target market.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sometimes you got to focus on new marketing. And then a lot of times you have to tap into new marketplaces, not just putting it on your website or your platform and trudging away that one way, but finding other things that you can do to gain visibility. Right. For example, being in a place where I've seen a lot of successful entrepreneurs, they partner with Barnes and Nobles, they partner with Target. So guess what? They're not just online, but they're offline, right? Reaching
Mhm.
new people, working with entrepreneurs who at the end of the day decide that they're going to partner with affiliates. Interestingly enough, number one, I said to you guys, Back to Business is happening this weekend over at backtobusiness.me. It's going to be awesome, the Back to Business webinar conference, so that you can participate wherever you are. But number two, I have an affiliate partner program so that those who want to can sign up to the program and they can share this event with others, right? Because I know a great amount of people, but so do you, right? And being able to partner with other people or find different ways to improve your visibility is what client attraction is all about, right? How can we strategically move forward? I will say this one last thing before I ask you another question, and that is the last summit I did was the Book Business Summit, and one of the speakers was Tyshina Davis. She's absolutely amazing. Over at success.com/BB Summit, we did that a few weeks ago. And one of the things that Ty talks about when it comes to thinking like a bookpreneur is how you can monetize your content, your books. And she said, you know what? Yes, you can sell your books to individuals, but guess what? You can sell your books to organizations, to book clubs. Why just think, let me get individuals to buy? How about you get a church, or you get somebody who's doing an event to buy 100 books, 500 books, 1,000 books? Sometimes we think about it as I can only sell my product on my website, or I'm the only person who's going to market, or maybe I have a VA and that's it. But stretching yourself, going on different marketplaces, thinking out of the box is something that's smart to do, and being open. I think you said to me that particular platform was recommended to you, right? Being open. Sometimes other people will tell us, hey, why don't you try this? And we dismiss it because we're so focused on trying to do it the way we want to do it.
Yes.
And that, sometimes you hear it, but
Yes.
you don't do it.
Yes. Well, I'm a homeschooling mom, so it was actually recommended to me for my daughter to actually sign her up for some of the classes for homeschool, and
Gotcha.
it's amazing for homeschool as well.
I love that. I love that. But it's important, right, for us to be open to the possibilities that sometimes the way we're doing it is not the only way, right?
Yes.
We can do it.
Yes.
It's not the
Yes.
only way.
No,
So
it's not.
I want you to share. just a little bit. You don't have to tell them all the details, but now that you have this amazing experience, all of these great reviews, people are coming in, target market, traffic, revenue, because that's what this is all about, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yes.
Michelle said some days she's like, I lost my voice, LaShonda. That's how many classes I was doing. Now that
Yeah.
these things are happening, what do you have coming up next?
Okay, so next, I plan on training other etiquette coaches to become an etiquette, or other ladies, other women, to become an etiquette coach. Because of the way I started. I started out because I needed to stay at home with my daughter. And there's some other parents that, may need the same thing. They may need to stay at home with their children. So that's how I got started with all of this. And when I did get started, I kind of hit the ground running then as well, but just keeping it consistent was the problem, keeping it consistent. So I had another business that I was doing also. So I would do that other business to generate my funds, but I was still passionate about this business here. So I knew something was going to come from it, and like you said, when you do start, you want to just start. Don't procrastinate. Don't just sit there and keep thinking about it. Start. Go ahead and start. So I went ahead and I started, and I was able to, perfect it. I was able to add on things or see where I needed to change something. I was able to do different things with it, and I still do that now. I constantly make changes where I see changes, or if I see that the kids are getting bored with certain things, I will change it and I'll add something else, something interactive in for them. So I'm constantly changing it. Like you said, just start. And that was one of my problems too. So I'm glad I did start when I did.
It's important to start. It's important to know how to pivot and make
Yes,
adjustments as needed, right?
yes, yes,
We talked about number one. Now that you have, and I always say there are different target markets that you can reach, right?
yes, yes.
Michelle clearly has a passion for the audience that she wants to serve, right? But that's
Mhm.
market number one. Market number two, people who want to BLY, be like you, right? People who
Yes,
want to teach etiquette. That's a whole other market, right?
yes,
And
yes.
then thinking about, you said that you're also thinking about releasing something digital, something virtual
Okay.
soon.
Yes. So I'm releasing, well, it's going to be something like a game, but it's going to be like a virtual Christmas party. Not Christmas party, I'm going to say holiday party. Virtual holiday party bundle where it includes games, and it also includes like a whole little itinerary for a virtual party, because there's so many people that will be at home. They can't really be with their family. There's a lot of people that are planning on being on Zoom or some other platform to interact with their family members over the holidays. So I am actually designing something where it will be bundled, and they will be able to play games with their family members, and they'll be able to, kind of give them the whole itinerary, like a whole itinerary. And it's also a game that they can play with their family members, so that they won't, just be sitting on Zoom. Some people are just on Zoom and they really don't know what they should do, but they're just kind of looking at each other. And
Awkward silence.
yes. So I plan on kind of doing like the virtual party planner thing, and planning
Gotcha.
a holiday party where you can get on Zoom and actually have fun with your family, actually interact with your family and have fun with your family for the holidays.
I love it. So, one of the things that we did as part of Michelle's last clarity call, and by the way, guys, if ever you wanted to talk to me privately, you can always go to callme.sistersense.com to schedule a clarity call. Michelle said, look, I want to do this game, want to make it virtual. What do I need to do logistically to make that happen? So we spent a good portion of our session talking about that in particular. But here's the thing. What I love about that is when you open yourself up to manifestation, preparation, and attraction, when you actually go from ideas are great, but implementation is better, and you implement, you try different things, then as you see new customers coming in, you come up with new ideas of the content that you can create, right? And
Yes.
what's great about that is Michelle said to me, a couple of people, when she explained to them what she was doing, they said, oh my God, I need that. I want that. That is launching with leads. That's you launching with people who are already excited about your offer because you're having these experiences, you're talking to people, they're telling you what they need, and also you're conscious of, as Michelle said from the very beginning, staying up on the times, being conscious of what people are needing, what their
Mhm.
challenges are. You know, my son said sometimes when they do virtual homeroom, the kids are sitting there and it's like crickets, and the teacher's like, "Do you have any questions?" And the kids are just like,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
teachers, families, a lot of people, you know, they have those awkward moments, and being able to support and guide, see a need, fill a need, you definitely are tapping into them entrepreneurial gifts that you have. And I love that because I wanted to be able to share those things with us, and of course, inspired others to think out the box, think about how things are changing, what people need
Mhm.
right now, how you can serve new people, but also how you can get even deeper into serving the people that you serve right now, how you can continue to serve them in new and interesting ways, changing your target market just a little bit or
Yes.
shifting right to the needs of your existing customers and followers. So, Michelle, please once again let them know where they need to go to stay connected with you and make sure that they know exactly when you launch your upcoming good goods. Let them know the website again.
Okay, so my website is mshannon.org. In order to teach, you can go to mshannon.org/OS. And if you want to sign your child up or take a look at the classes at the school, it is mshannon.org/PR, and that stands for parent referral. The PR stands for parent referral. So you can go there and you can take a look at the classes to sign your child up and receive a credit as well.
I love it. I love it. So, number one, I want to thank Michelle. Thanks you so much for jumping on here and sharing your amazingness. There's always something amazing about hearing stories of success and seeing real entrepreneurs just like you and me do what they need to do to, to power through, right, and
You are
pivot,
so very welcome.
right? Even in times of
Yes, yes,
challenges, I thank you so much for being able to
yes,
share your success with us. And hopefully, we have another one of these sessions where we can talk about
yes,
some other things that you're doing.
yes. Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Yes, yay. So, guys, remember that all week I'm talking to you about how to start now, right? How to start working from home, start moving forward, start monetizing, start being in a place where you are preparing and attracting the people that you wish to serve, the things that you want to see in your house, in your life, in your business. So, number one, make sure that you register for the Back to Business virtual webinar conference live replays, start and grow bundle, all that good. Make sure that you think about, as we talked about today, the three power words. And feel free, by the way, whether you're watching live or via the replay, to let me know a particular power word that is your word that resonates with you. But today I wanted you to really think about what it means to work on manifestation, right? Intention and visualization, what it means to work on preparation. Once you know where exactly you want to go, how you're preparing to get there, how you're preparing to be the person you wish to become, do the things that you wish to do. And then, of course, attraction, right? The law of attraction. How are you going to manifest and attract the things that you want and the people that you want in your life? Sometimes we got to do different things to see different things, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. So having an open mind, taking in feedback, and also just kind of energetically looking for new ways to do new things. That's what it's all about. So hopefully, as part of the Back to Business conference, you can come on in because we've got some amazing speakers committed to sharing with you new ways, new ideas, new inspiration, and you get to hang with folks like me and the amazing Michelle Shannon. So once again, Michelle, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Y'all take care. Be blessed. Again, don't forget, turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. We're going to continue to start in our conversation all week. And then we got a full day of sessions, back to business.me. So don't forget to, number one, register. You can register for just the live plus the replays, or the live, the replays, and the start and grow bundle. Plus, you can also join as an affiliate. So you can learn and earn, generate affiliate revenue by sharing the Back to Business virtual conference experience, sharing your affiliate link, and generating a commission from everybody who signs up through you. All right, y'all, continue to do what you need to do to power through to your best you. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow for another dose of direction. Till then, take care.